Autumn of Agony concludes today with this final Gauntlet run, which includes 2 new bosses, starting with this Tigra here, and I'm going to be doing the left side, fulfilling the objectives of using champions who are Cosmic, Science, and Mystic, along with being Saga, along with being Villain with this team. And we're starting with Nefaria for this Tigra boss, which I kind of just knew going into it. After reading Tigra's nodes, I kind of just knew he was going to clobber this fight. And you're going to see, this is literally my first time taking Tigra, and this fight is going to go perfectly because of just how absurdly tanky he is. This is one of the only fights that goes like perfectly well. I'm going to struggle a lot for the ones afterward, but Nefaria is completely absurd for this fight. She can make you miss sometimes. If that happens, it's okay. Just kind of have to deal with it. She's immune to basically all form of red numbers except for specifically Whiplash and Power Sting. So Nefaria does not have his Plasma or his energy damage from the evade, which is fine. He doesn't really need it because of how hard he hits in general. But yeah, that miss can happen, but you can just eat a bunch of hits because your physical resist is absurd and you're constantly placing the ionic debuffs or energy buildup debuffs on her that you can regen back from. Because every time I drop an SP1 here, we're going to get some missing health back. And then if you just keep baiting her SP1, you can easily get the evade from Nefaria, parrying the last hit of the opponent's special. And that's just going to place an energy vulnerability, which is going to make your damage go through the roof. So, once you get this neutralized on you by being in her striking zone for a little while, it's annoying, but his physical resist again is just so high that you can kind of deal with it. So it doesn't end up mattering too much. And it's just like a little bit of a slow process getting her down. Because again, we don't have any red numbers. We don't really need them, but still they do have some of Nefaria's damage for sure. And then it's just kind of repeating the cycle of dropping SP1s for some regen, SP2s for the Furies, and then she's eventually going to go down. There you can see I just decided to scrape up some regen rather than going for an SP2, which I believe I'm going to go for an SP2 right at about the end of the fight here. And yeah, this Tigra goes down just like that. And yeah, a really, really easy fight if you have Nefaria. It looks like Quicksilver would be good for this one as well, and some other champs. I don't even know all of the options yet, but I know you don't want to be Neutralize immune, and you probably don't want to be Rupture immune for that fight. So, there's that, and now we move on to Prowler. I want to read Thanos' kit real quick here to see with that how I get access to the Panic debuff. I couldn't remember, but I do know that Panic allows Thanos to counter Miss and Evade. And I get the Panic whenever I trigger an Unstoppable. So the goal is to just trigger the Unstoppable on the final hit of Prowler's special attacks mainly, because that is going to allow me to counter them. It means once I get the Falter on me, it doesn't matter because I can't miss. So we're going to block the final hit of Prowler's SP2 here, and then go straight in. The Panic makes the Falter not matter, and then we can pause our buffs and stuff, which I only have 1 buff at the moment, but that's okay. Get the Armor Shatter and stuff there, so now we're doing some decent damage, but we do need to keep these things paused if we can help it, and try to alternate SP1, SP2 as well as we can to prevent getting untouchable on us. So, drop the SP1 here. Gonna get power drained a little, that's fine. I just really want to get the Furies anyway, and then again just continue to keep them paused via the Unstoppable trigger, well, mainly hitting the opponent after you trigger the Unstoppable. And then we're going to take a little bit of damage when we block his SP2, especially with the Incinerate on us. That is going to be reducing our block proficiency, but it's just kind of a slow and steady fight that will feel pretty fine if you get the hang of it. This was my second attempt. I did a force reset on the fights to get a second attempt on it. I don't remember exactly what went wrong in the first one. I think I died by eating an unblockable SP2 or something. And yeah, so I just refreshed the app and went at it again. And the second attempt went really well. Now, you're not going to be able to counter specials, obviously, if they're unblockable. So if Prowler has 30 of his Furies, you cannot block the final hit, or block any of it for that matter. So you do have to be aware of that. And at this point, he is almost dead. I'm feeling pretty good. I don't have an unstoppable to get access to, though, which is annoying. There, I should have dropped an SP1 instead, so that was a mistake. So now he's going to be indestructible until I can get to another SP1. So yeah, that felt pretty bad, but once we get to another SP1, the indestructible is going to go away, and we're going to be kind of vibing again. Without any Furies, because I let like all of them fall off, but it's whatever. Unstoppable, consume some of my necrotic energy to gain more Furies, and then we just need to get this guy down. Like, all of my stuff fell off when I messed up earlier, so I don't have any armor shatter. I just kind of have 4 Furies, and I'm just trying to kill him as fast as I can. And we're going to go for the heavy attack there, place the armor shatter, and then I did get power drained at the very last second, which did make me lose a good bit of health, but we did solo the fight. So that's how you want to do that one with Thanos. And then next up, we're going to be fighting this Heimdall with Purgatory. You don't necessarily need Purgatory for this fight. You just want to have someone who can fulfill the objectives. However, I definitely think Purgatory is going to be the best of the 3 on this team, and one of the better options for this fight in general, just because of the sheer damage she has on her specials and via the degen. And then she actually was my best option for Northstar as well on this team, which we will see later. So I do think Purgatory is replaceable. However, she did do a pretty good job with the fights that she had success for, which was Heimdall and Northstar. So in this fight, we just want to drop SP2s in Rampage, and if they're unblockable, we just want to bait his heavy attack and then drop it right into the heavy, because that is going to remove the unstoppable node, and it's still going to be unblockable, so we're not going to get punished from it afterwards. Hope he doesn't auto block too much, because that's just the most annoying thing about this fight for the most part. However, when he does, we just need to like back up and wait for it to go away, or parry mainly, so that I can remove it safely. And yeah, unblockable SP2 there. He's already down below 50%, and we're only like a minute in the fight, so this is going pretty well so far. However, my demonic rampage is about to expire, and he just keeps auto blocking, so I'm like, dude, really? This is so annoying. But on the bright side, if we happen to get to 3 bars of power before going into rampage, I can just self-power drain with my second medium, and that is going to allow me to drop an SP2, which is obviously what I want to be using in this fight, because that's the damage special. So I need Heimdall to drop a special there. He does, hopefully doesn't auto block. He does, of course, that's whatever. And then I'm going to bait an SP1, doesn't give me any power obviously, but it's okay. He's auto blocking like every single freaking time, but we're going to go for a double medium here. Self-power drain, drop the SP2. It does a lot of damage, brings him all the way down to 13%, and I'm feeling pretty good about this fight. I just need to get to that SP2, and then he drops that heavy, and I can't dex it, because he turns off dexterity with the stupid True Sense buff. So I'm like, really? That's how I'm going to die? Really? So that sucks, but I believe we finish it off with Deathless Thanos, who I am going to give some potions real quick. So baiting this guy's special, he doesn't really feel like throwing it, but then he finally does, and he's not auto block yet, which is nice. Remove his unstoppable that way. He just keeps throwing heavies for some reason, and here I'm just like, okay, I'm throwing this SP1 just to dump some power. Brings him down to 9%, and then I want to get to that SP2 if I can help it. He auto blocks, because of course he does. He auto blocks again, and like, I hate this fight. I genuinely hate this fight. I don't even think it's that hard. I just can't stand it. So yeah, we're gonna get him down. He's gonna be at like 1%, and I'm like, okay, can you just die, please? Please don't auto block. He auto blocks. Drop the SP1 before the unstoppable comes back, and then he dies. Finally, we're at Northstar, which it seems like I, like most other people, underestimated how annoying this fight was gonna be. Because this fight is actual straight torture, but I feel like it's straight torture with most champs, so yeah, I am already pretty terrible at fighting Northstar in general, so add the fact that I can't counter his specials and bubble shield, and the fact that I can barely ever throw my specials in the fight because it has to be via dash attack or countering his heavy, and it creates a pretty rough time. Also, I'm using 2 characters who get destroyed by his slow, because I can't evade specials with Nefaria, and then I can't use Counterpunch with Deathless Thanos because of his SP1, so yeah, Purgatory is gonna carry me once we start using her. So here I'm like, well, I need to drop a special, so I do it there. I was hoping he'd like try to let me intercept him. He didn't, but he was not able to counter the special at least, so there's that. I probably should be pushing him to SP2, which I was just scared of because I don't know the decks very well. It's not terrible once you get some practice, and then I have some energy resistance to, you know, block most of it. And then of course I forget like the key node where he goes untouchable after his specials because I'm stupid. So anyway, there is a completely wasted SP2, and once again I don't learn my lesson and run into the special again. And now I'm just getting comboed in the corner, and I don't know what the heck I'm supposed to do. And then he just special intercepts me. I'm like, dude, really? This fight sucks. I hate it. Yeah, I think Heimdall and Northstar are my least favorite fights in this whole quest. So it's nice that I have to fight them no matter what path I take. Whatever. We're going in with Deathless Thanos now, who Deathless Thanos can place that panic to ignore the untouchable a little bit. However, if I'm slowed, then I can't really do it. And look, I drop another special into the untouchable. I don't know how I turned my brain off that much to where I just kept doing it. But that's what happened. And I should be pushing this guy to SP2 so I can have access to my untouchable, or my unstoppable. But I just don't do it because I don't know. And here I'm just like, well, I can barely throw my specials because I'm in the corner. So I guess I'm just going to hope that he doesn't block this. He blocks it. So, neato. But he drops an SP2 here. I have to deck some of it because of the node bubble shield, and then I still try to counter the special because I'm really that smart. And I probably should have gone for a heavy attack, but at least we get some decent corrosion damage. Not really, because it seems like that doesn't scale with power shield. But the hits themselves did a little bit, I guess. I don't know. That felt pretty bad. Here he drops a special, and I have to block a lot of it and then go for the dex. Look, I actually play around the untouchable, except he follows up immediately with an SP1. So I'm like, dude, this is actual straight misery. So we team revive. I'm going in with Purgatory now. I only needed one team revive to get him down because Purgatory is going to hard carry a lot of the health here. A lot because she just benefits from power shield so much, whereas Nefaria and Thanos don't necessarily do that. So that's nice. And then I eat a combo there, but at least I'm getting an absurd amount of power. And I was able to drop a special attack that actually hit him for maybe the first time. I think I was able to do that once with Thanos too, but like, dude, this is so bad. And then it's unblockable, so I can drop it into his block just like that. And Purgatory is cooking. We're actually doing pretty nice here. Am I going to run into the untouchable? Yes, I am. Oh my gosh, dude. This is so bad. I'm still at 1% though, so we're not dead yet. And then Mystic Dispersion takes me to 3 bars, and I'm like, you know what? I'll just drop the special 3. It'll do decent damage, give me a power gain afterwards. So that's cool. I'm trying to bait a special here. He doesn't want to throw it. He really doesn't want to throw it. And I'm like, well, he finally did, but my rampage fell off, of course. And then I'm going to get a sidestep. I should have been sidestepping him a lot more because it helps this fight a lot. If you can sidestep. We have a mutant soul now, which is cool. Can't really use it, though. And then I die because I had like a frame left on the untouchable. So we revive Nefaria, and it's just about getting this guy down now, hopefully in this first team revive that I used. And I believe I'm able to do that. So it's just a lot of trying my best to get him down as fast as I can without dying. And yeah, we're going to go for the SP2 here. I actually land a special for once. Got an Incinerate that's ticking a little bit. I still eat the special too because I'm great. But we're going to go for an SP1 here, hopefully to get some health back, except I don't. I'm going to go for an SP2 instead. And then I eat Bubble Shield, and then I'm probably going to die here, I assume. Yes, I do. So, neato. And then we go back in with Thanos, and I am going to be able to get him down before I need to revive again, which is pretty nice. So, yeah, I'd say this team went pretty well, considering Northstar was the hardest fight, and Northstar is the one I was never able to, like, practice ahead of time, because it's brand new, obviously. and it kind of sucks when you have to fight a brand new boss at the very end of the quest. So I really don't feel like it went that bad. It's just, you know, annoying, and I hate the fight. So it's whatever. The team still did a pretty good job, and those are the 3 objectives. I'll probably have the right side done pretty soon on YouTube as well. So I hope this was helpful to you, and I'll see you in the next video.